I mean that is no disrespect to Minister Quinn, but I think it is an absolute outrage that on budget day, Gaelic, neither Minister Noonan nor Minister Howlin would see fit to wait in Dáil Éireann to hear what members of Dáil Éireann have to say. I'm sure both ministers are dying to get on the 6 o'clock news, but we could have started before 2:30 today if that was the case. Gaelic, there are a small number of measures which I would like to acknowledge in this budget. I would like to acknowledge retaining the 9% VAT for the hospitality sector for 1 year. I think that is to be welcomed. And I think the levy on the banking sector is something that we could all support. But the real question today for us are two. Is this budget fair? And will this budget kickstart the social and economic recovery so badly needed in this country? So to question one, Gaelic, is it fair? Well, Minister Noonan, Minister Howlin, in his budget document, provided a lovely graph from the ESRI, which shows that if you look at the income deciles, the budget changes mean that the more you have, the more was taken off you, unless you're in the bottom decile, in which case you had a huge amount taken off you. Now, it turns out, Gaelic, that this information includes 2008 to 2013. In the same paper, the ESRI come up with another graph, and it does the same analysis used on budget day by Minister Howlin just for the Fine Gael Labour budgets. Now that graph doesn't appear in Minister Howlin's document, but if it did, what it would show is that the last two budgets directly have taken more from people who have less, per income decile. It's incredible. The less you have, the more you've been asked to give. Now, is that the case in today's budget? Well, we don't know. Because despite repeated requests for a quality analysis so that we could answer that question, we haven't got that. However, I believe that when that analysis finally does come out, we're going to see that yet again, this budget takes from those who have the least to give and benefits those who are well off. Why do I think that? Gaelic, if you're young in this country, if you're in your late teens or early 20s and you look at this budget, what do you see? You see a further cut in state funding to our universities and colleges, which between 2008 and 2015 are going to see a 50% per student cut in state funding. You see a reduction, if you're a young person in this country, of social protections. Why it's for under 25s, I don't know. Does the logic not apply to education and training when you're 26? If you're a parent with young children, Gaelic, and you look at this budget, what do you see? You see a second cut in 1 year in maternity benefit. You see no support for some of the most expensive childcare on this planet. Gaelic, if you're in the negative equity generation and you look at this budget, what do you see? You see an end to mortgage interest relief. You see an end to rent supplement. You see a full year of local property tax coming your way, whether you own the house or not. If you're 100 grand in negative equity, you're still going to be charging the market value of the house. What else do you see? You see an increase in your pension charges if you've been fortunate enough to save some money. And you see no additional support for mortgage holders who are struggling to restructure their mortgages with the banks. Gaelic, if you're a pensioner and you look at this budget, what do you see? You see a cut in medical cards, you see a cut in household benefit, and you see a cut in the invalidity pension. If you're a local employer and you look at this budget, what do you see? You see the cost of employment rising through having to pay more in sick pay. You see total tax relief for entrepreneurial activity in this budget totalling €7 million. But you don't see anything about lowering the cost of employment, and you don't see anything, for example, on making local authority rates more affordable. Gaelic, if you're between about 50 and 65, and you've got 100 grand in the bank, or you've got a few hundred grand in the bank, and you look at today's budget, what do you see? You see a range of tax reliefs for your investments. You see a tax rebate on getting work done in your house. This budget is introducing a tax relief for having a nice extension built on your house. But it is reducing tax relief for people who can't afford to pay their mortgage. Look, this budget could have been and should have been a catalyst to kick-starting social and economic recovery in this country. It could have exceeded the deficit and reinvested in families, in education, in entrepreneurship and in job creation. In my opinion, it has sadly failed in these regards. It continues to grind down the youth. It continues to grind down the negative equity generation, families, and for some reason, women who've just had children. The story of this budget, Cathaoirleach, is not what it is, but what it could have been. Thank you.